Some things make a big fuss, while others simply get the job done. Come along as we meet two powerful oxen, a stubborn wagon, and its very whiny wheels in The Quiet Strength of the Oxen.
It was a bright and beautiful morning, perfect for a long journey. Along a winding country road, two magnificent oxen were ready for their day's work. The road, though pleasant, stretched far into the distance. They were tasked with pulling a very heavy wooden wagon. This wagon was filled to the brim with colorful fresh fruits and vegetables, making it quite the challenge. Barnaby, a large reddish-brown ox, and Betsy, a gentle creamy tan ox, stood patiently. Their day was about to begin. With a soft nudge from their kind farmer, Barnaby and Betsy began to pull. Their powerful muscles flexed and rippled under their smooth coats. Their sturdy hooves sank just a little into the soft, damp earth with each steady step. They worked together as a team, pushing forward with quiet determination. Not a single sound of complaint came from their strong frames. All they focused on was getting their precious cargo to the market. As the oxen began to move, the sturdy light brown wooden wagon, a small sound began to emerge. The round, cheerful, bright red wooden wheels, with their shiny metal hubs, started to creak softly. It was just a little whisper at first, easily missed amidst the sounds of the countryside. Barnaby and Betsy continued their hard work, barely noticing the quiet murmurs from the wagon. They were used to the gentle sounds of their journey. Soon, the soft creaks grew louder and began to change. With each turn, the cheerful, bright red wagon wheels started to groan, as if in discomfort. However, the country road was not always easy. It soon turned into a wetter, muddier path. This made the heavy wagon even more challenging to pull. The oxen had to put even more strength into each step. The mud clung to their strong hooves, making their work much tougher than before. Each stride became a test of their incredible power and patience. Still, they kept their heads down and worked as one. Barnaby and Betsy pushed forward, their broad shoulders straining against the heavy load. Mud splashed up gently around their strong hooves with each powerful step. Their breath puffed out in soft clouds in the cool morning air. They focused on their task, their kind, dark eyes fixed on the path ahead, determined to make progress. Moving mountains of earth seemed easier than this journey. The oxen gave their best with every single pull. But as the road grew muddier, the cheerful, bright red wheels' complaints became louder and more frequent. The constant noise started to wear on the patient oxen. Each creak and groan seemed to echo through their minds, making their already difficult job much harder. Barnaby's deep brown ears twitched with annoyance. Betsy let out a soft, tired sigh. The persistent complaining filled their ears and made the journey feel much longer. They wished for just a moment of quiet peace. The oxen tried to ignore the fussing, focusing on their powerful steps. They concentrated on moving the heavy wagon forward, one slow, deliberate hoofprint at a time. But the incessant complaining from the cheerful, bright red wheels became too much. It was like a tiny pebble constantly irritating a giant mountain. Their remarkable patience was finally starting to wear thin. The sound made their muscles ache even more. Finally, after enduring endless grumbles and protests, Barnaby could take it no longer. He let out a deep, rumbling sigh that shook his entire body. His patience had stretched as far as it possibly could. With a loud, powerful bellow, he stopped in his tracks, pulling Betsy to a halt beside him. His kind, dark eyes now held a hint of firm exasperation. He was determined to make his voice heard. Barnaby's deep voice boomed. "Betsy, the gentle creamy tan ox," added her wise words. The cheerful bright red wheels. taken aback by the oxen's firm but fair words, fell silent. They had never considered it that way before. With a little wiggle, they realized the oxen were absolutely right. A tiny blush of red seemed to spread across their wooden surfaces. They felt a little bit silly for all their loud fussing. They promised themselves they would try to be quieter. With the air now quiet and peaceful, Barnaby and Betsy resumed their journey. The absence of the constant creaks and groans made a huge difference. The muddy road suddenly seemed a little less difficult to navigate. Their powerful steps felt lighter, and their hearts felt much calmer. A soft breeze rustled through the green leaves in the trees. The rest of the journey was filled with the gentle sounds of nature. Finally, after their long and quiet journey, they reached the bustling village market. Barnaby and Betsy, though tired, held their heads high with pride. They had completed their important task and learned a valuable lesson along the way. The cheerful, bright red wheels remained happily silent, having learned not to complain. The market was filled with happy chatter. Everyone admired the strong, patient oxen. This delightful story teaches us a very important lesson about true strength and helpfulness. It reminds us that working hard and cheerfully, even when things are difficult, is much more valuable. Complaining loudly about easy tasks, especially when others are doing the heavy lifting, doesn't help anyone. Let's all try to be like brave Barnaby and Betsy, putting our best effort forward with a quiet, kind heart.
Ever dreamed of being the hero? Now you get to be the star. Your adventure starts at TalesMio. Visit talesmio.com now.